There's a specific kind of comfort that comes from a shared routine. Same time, same place, same conversations across the table. It's a rhythm built on laughter, stories, and the reliable presence of another person. When you repeat a shared experience enough times, your brain stops treating it as a variable. It starts treating it as a fixed law of your environment, building a strong psychological expectation of permanence. Then, without warning, the rhythm breaks. The chair across from you is suddenly empty. No messages, no calls, no explanations. Just an echoing, immediate absence. At first, the mind simply rejects it. You look at that empty space and still expect someone to walk in. You tell yourself they're running late, their schedule got chaotic, or they'll definitely be back tomorrow. This silent goodbye triggers a severe glitch in the brain's predictive reality models. You are left trying to navigate a future that you've already mapped out, but which no longer exists. As days turn into weeks, your focus shifts from the physical chair to the digital world. You find yourself sitting in a dark room, staring at a screen, waiting for a notification that never comes. Left with a void it cannot explain, the human mind struggles to tolerate the ambiguity. To regain a sense of control, it turns inward, defaulting to intense self-blame. You launch an endless internal interrogation. You replay past conversations, scrutinize old interactions, and search for the exact moment where you must have done something wrong to drive them away. This visualizes cognitive closure, our brain's biological drive for firm answers to ambiguity. A silent exit weaponizes this drive. Without a stated reason for departure, the mental flowchart breaks. It redirects backward, forcing an endless cycle of self-doubt. This frantic, exhausting search for answers that don't exist hurts more than the physical departure itself. When you rely entirely on someone else's explanation to grant you cognitive closure, you trap yourself in an unwinnable psychological limbo. To break that loop, we have to stop looking at the person left behind and examine the motives of the person who abandoned the chair. We are taught a persistent social myth that every ending comes with a logical explanation or a final mutual conversation, but the reality is far less organized. As we develop, our life directions and priorities naturally shift. People often leave simply because their trajectory is moving away from yours, completely independent of anything you did. Facing that divergence with another person requires a painfully honest conversation. Thanks to human conflict avoidance, disappearing quietly is frequently chosen as the easier, lower friction path. That silence is the answer. The lack of a message is the message. An unexplained absence doesn't mean there was no reason. It means the reason belongs entirely to the other person's journey, not yours. Eventually, the mental exhaustion of the loop yields to a quiet observation. You look at the empty chair and realize you've stopped waiting for it to be filled, because the answer has already arrived in the form of their absence. The empty space no longer feels like a missing piece of your own identity. It stands as evidence that you survived the silence that was to break you. This shift comes from acknowledging that some relationships are inherently temporary. They are meant to serve a specific phase of your growth, rather than lasting a lifetime. These temporary connections serve a very specific purpose. They test your boundaries, force you to adapt, and reveal your resilience and self-worth. When you stop looking for external validation for why things ended, the emotional weight lifts. The panic of abandonment is replaced by a quiet, self-directed stability. You understand that closure is an internal state. It is generated by your own self-reliance, not a gift granted by another person's final words. The greatest value of the empty chair is the ultimate realization that you can sit alone and still be whole. You never actually needed them to be complete.